These are two of my most modern ThinkPads that I own. This is the ThinkPad. This one is a ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 6, and this is the T14 Gen 3. Now, why am I showing these two laptops together? Well, if you read the title, you already know I'm going to be complaining about this. I'm going to be ranting all about my T14 Gen 3. I've already ranted back and forth all the way, like way too much about this. But this is just a whole video dedicated to ranting about this. I've been ranting about this in all my videos, basically saying this is modern ThinkPad sucks. All right? But let's get into it. First off, I'm not exactly a hater of modern ThinkPads. I just don't like what the direction that Lenovo is trying to do. All right, I am a hater. I don't hate modern ThinkPads. I just hate this specific one because this is the only one I've used. I like this modern ThinkPad. I don't like this one. So, all right, let me get my point clear. And I like the fact that they switched to 16 by 10 because look at this. This is taller. This is taller. Good. That is good because this 16 by 10 aspect ratio, you can see more. You can see it's just a better aspect ratio when compared to 16 by 9. Sure, 16 by 9 has its own merits in the form of, yeah, sure, if you watch a YouTube video or something, the 16 by 9 is going to fill up the whole screen instead of leaving black bars on the top and bottom. But come on, in the modern day-to-day work, you're going to appreciate that extra vertical real estate more than the black bars they're gonna have when you consume YouTube content or like any 16 by 9 video. Honestly, this is filmed in 16 by 9, but that's fine. It's dealable. Anyways, let's get to complaining. First off, let's look at this keyboard right here. See this keyboard? Wow, it's a keyboard. See this keyboard? Wow, it's a keyboard. Do you see any differences? Do you see any differences? Huh? You see this? You see this? This keyboard extends out like this. It extends out more. Extends out about, I'd say, half a finger width more, about, compared to this. So what effects are there? Even though these are the same size, now they're in a different place. Slightly different, but if you're used to doing this, right? You're using type, switch to arrow keys. Wow, perfect. Now you go type, switch to arrow keys. Oh, frick, I switched to here, and now I'm pressing page down. See the problem here? They moved this by just that tiny little bit, just this tiny little bit right here. Tiniest little bit, and big problems arise. Because this is, look at it. You're used to this. Look at that. I'm using this because I'm seeing it. But like if I'm blind, like I swipe down and then boom, I'm a little to the offside. it's not that big of a problem. But if you're slightly imprecise, you start pressing the page up, page down, like it's a problem, right? The second problem, the main problem about it, is the lack of travel. See this? Let me get a side view. You see that? Now compare it to this. See how much more travel is on this compared to this. You can visibly see difference. Now, why is that an issue? Why is that an issue on modern ThinkPads? You might be saying, so what? It's just less travel. I mean, Having that much travel on a keyboard is a bit of a waste of laptop keyboard is a bit of waste of space anyways. I mean, you need to fit more beefy cooling components or like be more beefy stuff in there. You're gonna need to leave some space inside. We'll get back to that. We'll get back to that. First off, look at this. Look at this. You see how much thinner? You see how much thinner this laptop is? The X1 Carbon is compared to this? Look at that. It's about a whole, like 2 millimeters thinner. I'd say about 2 millimeters. And this is not even like the whole thickness. This has taller feet compared to this. So this actually is even thinner. It's just because this thing has taller feet, it actually rises up higher. Even with the taller feet, look at that. Then this fit the higher travel keyboard. This hit the higher travel keyboard just fine. Why can't this? Why can't this? This is a sticker. This should be able to fit even a higher travel keyboard. But you know what Lenovo did? They said, nah, we ain't gonna do that. Now you might say, well, this one has easily replaceable keyboard. You can slide it out and you can just replace it. And to that I say, they could have made this easily replaceable too, bro. They could have made, like, this is basically the same thickness in amount. Technically, this might even be even more thicker because they made it not easily replaceable. But I can't worry about that right now. So that's my second gripe about this. My third gripe about this modern ThinkPad, it's mostly on the keyboard. Mostly on the keyboard. Another thing is the paint, but like we'll get to that. And the third thing is like the heat. But anyways, you see this track point? I've already ranted about this. You see this? You might be like, what's the difference between this one and this one? If you've seen my other videos, you'll know that I gripe about this thing, and you'll know the reason. But to the people, and I know a lot of people already do not even pay attention to my rants in my videos. They just skip around. I know you guys, like, come on. You watch my videos, but you don't watch them all the way through. Come on, shame. Anyways, so look at this. See this bar right here? See how there's a lack of a raised bar right here? You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use my track point. Oh yeah. Click around. Yeah. Very nice feel. Okay. Wow, I just did that seamlessly and flawlessly without hitting a friggin' bar. Now, let's try that on this. Oh, I'm trying to scroll and I hit the bar. My hand is dead now. That's the problem with this bar, alright? You do this, you raise your hand up a little bit, and you hit the bar. You might be like, why don't you just like move it like this? Why don't you just move it like this? It's a very simple gesture to do. And to that I say, blame all other ThinkPads before it for having a ridge up here that you can press on. Look at this. This is my X201 tablet. It's in my most recent video, alright? It's a very nice screen. Look at this. You always, on all other ThinkPads, right? You always go up. You don't go like this. You go like this. You can't press anything. You go up, and then boom. You go up, and you can scroll. Here, on here, you go up, you hit your hand on the bar. You might say, oh, just change for what? This modern ThinkPad has the same, it's modern too, but bring it up actually works. I don't hit a dang bar. This is the source of most of my gripes about this, alright? I don't give a crap. I can relearn this, right? Like, even if I relearn this, I can still, even if I did the same, I can still do this correctly. There's enough size in here, alright? There's enough size. But you know what I can't learn and apply it to all my other ThinkPads? This. If I go like this, and scroll, sure you can do that. But on other ThinkPads, you can do it. You can do it on here. Do it on here but on here, if you try that, like pop, 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 and then you do this, you can't scroll. You can't scroll. This is a hinged mechanism right here. This is a hinged mechanism. You can only do it up here. And that's, frankly, the correct way to do it. Because this is a ridge right here. You're meant to push up and push down on this. You're meant to do this. You're not. That's the problem. You can't. All right. Before I get too heated and start cursing, I know I do curse sometimes, but I try not to. I try not to protect the above like 20 like the 30 something 40 something people who watch my videos, like like years old people. Like, I see YouTube analytics. Most people who watch them like older. It's fine. Anyways. My third gripe. Now let's move on to away from the keyboard. Actually, fourth gripe. That was my third gripe. My fourth gripe with this, the track point. We're on the track point now. This. You see this nub right here? Might be like, wow, you DCFBF, you're using it just fine. I don't like using it just fine, because you know this is hard as a rock. This has no stiffness. This is no flexibility. This is as stiff as just regular plastic. This feels better than this. Doing this feels better than this, because this has no stem left. They just absolutely murdered the stem on this. They just absolutely demolished it. Now you might be like, oh, by how much? This is the 1.8 millimeter stem. See this? All right, this is this one. This one is this. This one came from this. Look at that. Look at that difference. I'd be like, that's not much of a difference. That's only by like a few millimeters. And to that I say, yeah, a few millimeters make a big difference, because this one, she's not focusing on it. This one, when I do it, it has flexibility. It flexes. It has resistance. It feels like a nub. It feels like good to use, you know? I don't know how to describe it to people unless they actually use it, but all I can say is that the extra stem is a lot, much better. And of course, something like this with this much stem is the best, because look how much flexibility. Let me put this back on, and you'll see how much flexibility. Look at that. I pull it down, I pull it up, all that flexibility. Very good. Anyways. Okay. Now, I've already ranted about the key placement. I've ranted about how the travel is down. I ranted about this dang bar. I've ranted about this. Now, let's rant about the internals. This thing has to have the worst heat dissipation internals ever. I can't open it up right now because I don't have a screwdriver on me, but trust me when I say this, this thing had constant fan noise. You hear the sound? Like, you might not be able to hear it, but I hear constantly. And that's from this thing's fan. This is from this thing's fan. I'm on idle, and there's fan noise. Maybe like, that's because you got a Ryzen 7, man. You got a Ryzen 7 in this thing. And to that I say, if I got a Ryzen 7, they better freaking put a beefier cooling system on my computer. Like, that's not my problem that I wanted power for computers. When It's Lenovo is supposed to be like, yeah, for the ones with like Ryzen 7s, Core i7s, I probably need to put in a beefier cooling system so that one, it doesn't overheat, and two, so that this fan doesn't have to constantly be on, even on idle. You see this thin, thin and light, right? No fan noise. No fan noise. It's thin. It's much thinner. You see this USB? You see this USB port? There's got barely anything surrounding that USB port. You see this USB port? Look at that. There's so much extra. Look at that. It's not very hard to visualize, but look at that. Look how much extra there's around it. And they still just can't make the fan noise stop on idle. That's the fifth gripe. The sixth gripe about it, you might be like, it's the paint, all right? It's the paint. This thing's paint. You might be like, oh, that's just because of this color. It's only this color. Yeah, it's only this color. That's why it's not big of a deal. Not big of a deal. But look at this paint right here. Look how easily it strips. This thing went through the same conditions. Do you see the paint stripping? It's still smooth, blemishless. But this, it's been scratched. It's been dinged. You might be like, because this is metal, so of course it's gonna ding like this. You see this metal bit, it dinged too, right? No, this metal bit was not caused by me. These paint chips were not caused by me. I have not made any of these paint chips any worse than they were already, all right? So the problem with this paint, this gray paint, is how easy it is to flake. Look at this. Just regular abrasive use, and it's just gone. Here, regular abrasive. It's just gonna scratch. Don't give a crap, because it doesn't stand out. It scratches and it's still black. This scratches and now it's gray. It's ugly now. That's my sixth gripe. All right, bye.